Hello friends, in this video we will get introduced to a system. So this is very important topic from gate point of view. Let us begin. Let us try to understand a system. A system is a meaningful interconnection of devices. So of course every system is made up of many devices together, but they are interconnected to each other in a meaningful way, right? And only after that it is going to form a particular unit which accepts some input, and in turn it produces the desired output. So what it exactly does, it is going to manipulate one or more inputs. Okay, so it is going to manipulate one or more signal inputs, and it is now going to produce a desired output for us. And this is what we define as a system. So a block diagram of system is shown. Right now only one input is shown, but it might happen that it may have some multiple inputs together, and after processing those inputs it is going to produce a desired output. So now we will actually see what are real-time systems, then only it will make sense. So here are some real-time examples of systems. The first one is called as a squarer system. Now what is meant by a squarer system? Let us see. So system, let's say having input equal to x of t, having output let's say equal to y of t, and as I said it is a squarer system. It means it will accept whatever input you give, it will just square it, and that will be the output. So y of t will be equal to x square of t. Is that right? So depending upon the functionality of the system, you can establish relation between output and input. For example, you can have integrator system where, again let's say we have x of t input, we have a system called as integrating system. After taking integration of input, it will produce output y of t. So the relation between y of t and x of t can be written as integrating over minus infinity to tau, or we can simply write t here, x of tau d tau. Remember, this is the standard integrator system. We may have differentiator system where instead of taking integration, it may take derivative of input. So let's say we have again input x of t, we have a derivative system here, and this is output y of t, and now y of t in terms of x of t can be written as d by dt of x of t. Or we can have amplifier also. So let's say an amplifier with gain equal to a. Let's say we have some x of t input here and y of t as output, and we know how this amplifier system really works. Let's say some AC input is applied here, it is going to produce a similar shape output but in the amplified version. Am I right? Or we may have some attenuator system, again with input x of t, some attenuation factor, some y of t here. So what attenuator does, it does exactly reverse operation as that of amplifier. Let's say we have some normal input here, so in turn it is going to attenuate the input. It means it is going to reduce the amplitudes of input by let's say factor k. So depending upon the functionality system, it is going to process the given inputs, and according to it, it is going to produce the output that we are interested in. Now, depending upon the properties of system, we have certain classification which is considered as standard classification of systems. Let us see those. So on the screen you can see classification based on properties of system. Now, every system may have a memory inside it, or it may not have a memory inside it. So depending upon whether it is equipped with memory or it is memoryless, depending upon that we have a very first classification called as a static system or dynamic system. So static system, dynamic system depends on whether the memory is present inside the system or not. Secondly, let's say we have a particular system to which we have given an input as x of t and we have some output y of t. Of course, y of t is not equal to x of t. After processing x of t, we got some y of t. Now, for example, taking this y of t and reprocessing in the other system, if we are able to get our original x of t again, okay, in that case it is called as an invertible system. And if we are not able to do so, then it is called as a non-invertible system. We will be learning this in detail in next video lecture. Now, depending upon the current output status on input, we have causal and non-causal classification. Next, we have stable and unstable. It is basically categorized into stable and unstable on the factor that, let's say, some bounded input is applied to the system. In response to it, what type of output it is producing, whether it is bounded or unbounded. Depending upon that, we say that systems are classified into stable and unstable. If system properties are not varying with respect to time, it is called as time invariant, right? Because the name says it all. And if the system properties are changing with respect to time, those systems are called as time variant system. And again, depending upon the linearity of the system, they are classified into a linear system and non-linear system. To tell you in short, those systems which follows superposition theorem are linear systems, and those systems which do not follow superposition theorem are called as non-linear systems. So in next video lecture, we will be learning each and every type in detail along with some numericals. Thank you.